holy friends. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me here again on another day, another opportunity for us to speak in confidence. We got to talk a little bit about how we can sometimes not feel confident, but regardless of the fact that we can't feel confident, we can still speak in confidence, and our words can still convey confidence, even if we might not feel confident. To just kind of like address, touch on, experience what confident speaking can be, what confident speaking can do to you, for your life, for your experience of life. And it's this part of myself that feels like there's a knowing, that I don't actually know anything, right? Like a very visceral understanding of the infinity, and then how infinitesimally small what I know is in comparison to that, while at the same time trying to speak in confidence, right? Like it's this ultimate duality. I think Ram Dass had this beautiful thing to say where those who speak do not know, those who know do not speak. And we happen to be in a position where we have to be both the speaker and the knower, while fully realizing that there's no such thing. Lindsay, it's nice to have you here with me. Hi, Melt. I don't know if that was supposed to be like a extremely emphasized hi, Melt, but thank you for joining me. Hi, Christian. Hi, Melt. Love us being sent your way as Christian as well. Christian is just sitting across from me, writing a little bit. Writing a little bit. Writing a little bit. Trying to write a little. As he looks at me as I interrupt him. Thank you for sending love his way as well. I appreciate that, Natalie. Thank you, friends, for joining me in this moment. It's nice to have you here. I did share a little bit at the start of the stream, but again, to you friends joining us right now, we want to talk a bit about speaking in confidence. Christian shared his understanding yesterday, where my interpretation of him is one of confidence, where his interpretation of himself is one that might be lacking in confidence. But the reason I think of Christian as a confident person is because of the words he uses and the way that he uses his words. He's not unsure of what he wants to say, and in that way, confidence gets spoken through it.
It's such a perfectly built facade that it ends up being reality.
There we go, Christian. That's what the stream is about. That you can speak confidently, even though there's nothing to be confident about.
Just animates so well that you can't tell the fakeness from the realness.
I mean, is there such a thing?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Is there such a thing as fakeness? Within the human experience, you cannot pretend to be something that you're not. And the harder you try to pretend to be something that you're not, the more obvious it becomes that you're not that thing which you pretend to be. The paradox of being human sometimes. Like in who you are, friend, is absolutely essential to the whole. Surely you can still grow, surely you can still become more, but who you are right now in this moment is essential to the whole. Like you need to be here. We all do. If we weren't here, we wouldn't be, right? Like you would not be having this experience right now if you aren't. And yet, here you are. So thank you for joining me. Intention for today, Christian. What is our intention for today?
Kill your enemies.
Kill your enemies, he says.
I have this bright memory from Mozambique
Uh-huh.
that I wrote in the sand, kill evil.
Kill evil. I mean, I feel that. I do feel that.
It was when I was still in like my self-righteous crusade phase.
Oh, okay. I do get where you're coming from. Like, I think melt evil. Technically, it's the same thing, but to me, it's less instant destruction of and more turning into something else so that you can reshape what's on the other side. But I do get where you're coming from. You know, like, and I'm trying to think now, is there evil in not being confident in yourself? Why aren't you confident? Like, is the question of,
Distract me one more time, see what
I'll
happens.
distract you all the
I
time.
can shove that stick
I'll
up your
distract
ass.
you 5 times more. He sends me this little sticker of like contact deleted, or admin removes you or something like that, and I send him this meme of like a raccoon that goes, "I'm sorry for annoying you. It will happen again." It will. I promise. We still haven't set an intention though. Kill evil, melt evil. I'll do melt evil. How about that, Christian? Melt all of the evil and do so confidently. Melt evil by just being you. By just being the experience of who you are to this world. Share love, share the experience of camaraderie, share the experience of seeing. Like we do like seeing things together. I mean, we watch movies and shows and works of art and dancers. Oh goodness, the breadth of things that humans like to observe, and yet we can observe with one another. Can you observe words? Surely. So if it's melt evil, I'm gonna write on the paper. Build new. Melt evil and build new. That makes my brain happy. Yeah. Thank you, Jovan, for joining us. I'm doing all right. Hi, Melt. Just getting situated back after over a month in rehab. Glad to make it back. It's nice to have you here. I'm doing all right. Congratulations on you, friend, for like going through rehab. It's interesting to me, and I'm like, this is the only fractal that I have to pull on right now. I'm doing all right. I'm trying to relate to you as much as I can. Apparently, some of the areas in which yoga and, certain breathwork practices are being taken up the most is in rehab facilities. So this is my roundabout way of asking you, did they have any of that? Any yoga sessions, any breathwork sessions? And just to, again, in that kind of context, to pad onto my confidence, if you will, of the things that I know can help. I feel we're in an age where things are a little bit wacky. Being happy is more ethereal than it's ever been. So if we can share ideas with one another, share understanding of one another, it can allow us all to be a little bit happier. And you could learn something like that from rehab. Please do teach us, friend. Here to learn. We love that he is a dear friend, and we felt that love and respect and reflected. Thank you. When it rains, Natalie, I appreciate you sharing love. Hello, Shannon. Sorry for making you wait so long. New scarf, technically. Old scarf, new life. So love being sent to you by Shannon as well, Christian.
Love all the way back,
Thumbs up to you. I was thinking about you a lot yesterday, Shannon. I thought about you driving, so delightful, the love that you're expressing and the growth that you're experiencing. And sometimes that growth comes with discomfort as well, Javan. And thank you. I've been thinking about Shannon a lot as well in the same exact way. Sometimes that growth comes with discomfort, where we grow and then we're like, oh goodness, all of this growth that I'm capable of. And then we have this part of ourselves that wants to continue in the way that it's been, or doesn't want to shift so dramatically that you have to relearn everything that you've learned up until this point. And then it's this pivoting period, all right, where we feel worse than we did before we got better. But take solace in the knowing that you can be confident in yourself. You got this, friend. You got this. We got a a moment today after the yoga practice with a friend who just reminded me again that no matter how bad things get, you can breathe through it. If things are bad in this moment right now, just lean into the confidence that you have your next breath already there waiting for you. This is what I like to call the sand of time. It is definitely not filtered marijuana. No, just sand. Funny sand. If this is extreme, it is not my fault. Completely Christian's fault. It wasn't at all my suggestion or anything. No.
Don't blame me for your failures.
No, it was absolutely not my fault. I mean, we're gonna melt evil. We're going to need some fire, dude. We're gonna need some fire, sister. We're gonna need all of that fire. And just like that, something has become manifest. When I had the idea, I realized the little pieces of matter that was necessary, and then with the magic of movement, we combined them all to make something anew. You can too, friend. Be confident in your power to be able to realize everything in your life. I know you can. I know you will. And I'm here to encourage you, friend. I don't need to know your life story. I don't need to know what you're going through right now. To know that you are, in the same way that I am, conscious and aware of this moment. I was thinking, like we were talking yesterday, me and Christian, about this understanding of where we've ended up, like I was basically saying to Christian that if he didn't love me, if it wasn't for love, then I would, on a very real level, not be here right now. I wouldn't be sitting in this position. We wouldn't be in this position right now if it wasn't for love. Like, why would we do this if not for love, right? So, like, just that understanding and then practicing that today, it gave me so much confidence in knowing that we're doing the right thing. At least as whatever right is supposed to mean. We're trying to help. Thank you, friends, for helping me in this moment as well. Clever girl with the helpful pro, thank you for that. Thank you on B for the love you're sending as well. Thank you for sending pride. Brother Ryan, thank you for joining me. On B say, I don't think it's evil. More fear, maybe. I mean, that self-confidence, I'm guessing you're talking about that self-confidence, trip that I went to and a little bit of. Is it evil to not be confident in yourself, right? And that sounds a little bit extreme. But the other side of it is you not being confident in yourself is like, as you mentioned on B, a collapse into fear, where instead of believing in yourself, you don't believe in yourself, right? So if you want to take it as far as I do, with the consideration that you are the quintessential consciousness that is the universe, that is the word we use when we say God, you not believing in yourself would be a sin in that convoluted way, right? So yes, believe in yourself, right? It's of the utmost importance. You need to believe in yourself. If we all don't believe in ourselves and our capacity to change our own lives, our capacity to change the lives of people around us, how can we ever hope to? How can we really ever hope to? My dad has this thing, he's a very devout believer of the Christian religion. And, I was as well for the longest time, and I learned so many beautiful lessons from that space. But he likes to quote this certain line from the Bible that goes, "It is in the nature of man to proclaim his own goodness," or it is something something of the man to proclaim his own goodness. And my perspective on that is, if we are unwilling to proclaim our own goodness, if we are unwilling to speak confidently about ourselves in a way that is like good, right? Like, I believe I have good intentions. I believe I can make a difference. I believe that I can help people. If we don't speak that way, how can we believe that about ourselves? How can other people believe that about ourselves? So yes, please, Fred, proclaim that you are good. Tell the universe, tell the friends you have, tell your dog by giving him the bestest of your scritches. Tell yourself by cooking for yourself and loving yourself in that way. You are so capable. Let's melt away the evil and build anew. Thank you, Christian.
Huh?
I say thank you.
Thank you.
Me and Christian have been practicing this gratitude ritual in the morning and night, where we touch ourselves, acknowledging earth.
Yes, we touch ourselves.
We touch ourselves.
Morning and
Yes,
night.
every morning and night we have this ritual of touching
We touch
ourselves.
ourselves.
we touch ourselves, thanking the earth. I mean, like, yes, thank you, earth. And then we inhale and we thank the air. And then we light a piece of incense and we thank fire. And then we have a little cup of water, drinking it and thanking the water. And then after that, we thank one another. And I mean, I've been practicing this little ritual for a little bit longer than 2 months now properly, where I haven't missed a day. And I've never had it this way, right? Like, where I have not only all of these things to thank, but I can thank my friend. I can thank this individual who's doing it with me. And again, it gives me confidence. It gives me confidence in realizing that that thank you, that acknowledgement, that appreciation of one another is actually reciprocated, right? Like, it can be sometimes difficult for us to just be thankful of the universe, thankful of the trees, thankful of the very air we're breathing, because it can be a little bit of a weird feedback loop of like, you're thankful for this thing, but you don't know if the thing it is you're thankful for actually knows about it, right? Where with Christian, I know that he knows that I'm thankful because he says he's thankful as well, and I can know inside myself that he's thankful, right? Like that feedback loop. But I genuinely believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that feedback loop is there within our whole as well. Where if you are thankful for the earth, thankful for the air, thankful for the fire, thankful for the water, the fire, the air, the earth is thankful for you. It's thankful for you. It's thankful for the fire in your heart. Melt away evil. Join Christian. Oh my god. The funny sand has not been hit yet. You want to sit with me?
Just briefly. A plekje te relaxeren. Hello,
Thank you so
beautiful
much of
people.
love.
Don't put me in the center.
You're smack dab in the center, Christian.
move the
No,
camera.
you're you're the one that's hot. Oh, I need all of the viewers to stay right now.
He's selling me like a
I don't
whore.
know. Look at how beautiful he is. Please stay. Keep looking at him. Whether you recover from whatever you are recovering from, thank you.
Thanks.
Whatever you were recovering from, I am visualizing you smashing it. Thank you so much for that, Brother Ryan, for like manifesting that as well. Paint your nails. I have thought about it, but unfortunately, after you paint your nails, you have to continue painting it, or it looks like ass. You know, so like that is the thing that stopped me. If I could paint it once and it would just be painted, I would probably paint it. But the fact that I have to keep doing it, that's the part that stops me. Melt Squad, good morning, Dan. Thank you for joining us, Poopsie, my man. So much love to you. Being impeccable with your word is the correct use of your energy. It means, thank you, homie. It means to use your energy in the direction of truth and love for yourself. Don Miguel Reyes, The Four Agreements, a practical guide to personal freedom, a Toltec wisdom book. I completely agree. You know, the four agreements is be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't assume, and try your best. Right? Like it's this understanding, and I can, in a convoluted way, connect it to confidence again. You can be confident in a person if they are impeccable with their word. You can be confident of yourself if you are impeccable with your word. If you don't assume anything, right? Like if you don't assume things about people, you can be confident in the things you know about yourself at least. You cannot take things personally. Again, allowing you to be more confident, allowing the other person to be more confident in what it is they're saying. And the last one, trying your best. You can be confident and know that you've tried your best. Thank you, Elio, for sharing that with me as well. Dan Dan has entered the vicinity. He's here now among us. Thank you for joining us, Gobbledygoo. It's nice to have you. I'm confidently saying that I love you, Meltmore. I'm seeing a squished down triangle, like it has a very long bottom, and then very slanted sides. It has blue in the middle, orange goldish on the outside, and then like instant black, and then from that black it transitions back into white, and then it has layers coming off of it. I confidently love you as well, Gobbledygoo. Rolling up to, thank you for joining me, friend, Content Cricket. It's nice to have you. Cool pants / shorts, mate. Oh, thank you, friend. I technically, you could say, made them. You could say ruined them. This way myself. My mom technically made the actual pants with material, and then I tie-dyed them, and they started to get a little bit faded, giving them a new round on life. They're not faded. They're supposed to look that way. Thank you, Content Cricket. Is that a marijuana cigarette? It is, friend. It is a marijuana cigarette. I have not smoked marijuana cigarettes for quite a while back home because I ran out of papers and I refused to ask my mom to buy for me. Like my mom really particularly doesn't enjoy buying rolling papers. My mom is still of the she would do it for me because she loves me that much, and that understanding, being confident in the amount of love that my mom loves me, right? Like she'll do it, but she'll be tripping out about someone in the the supermarket with her seeing her buying rolling papers and making a scene, or I don't know what my mom thinks is gonna happen. But she's so beautiful for like being so dramatic about it. Ever going to learn to roll? I mean, I'm still learning, friend, actively. Every single day, maybe I'm getting a little bit better at it. I feel like I've hit like a cap of how much better I can get, but who am I to say? Maybe I'll do all of the funny resin stuff and rolling it in keef and adding gold plating to it. I don't know, probably not. I think it's a tobacco joint. You are mistaken. I do not smoke tobacco. You're all wrong. That's pure Christianity. That's so ridiculous, God. It's like pure. Oh, thank you so much, Joe. It truly means a lot to me. I'm embracing this growth, and there's a lot of pain in this growth. I'm struggling a lot, but I know it will only make me stronger on the other side. And I'm trying to remember that. Red, blue around it, white in the middle, small thin black line in the middle of it. Shannon, you don't? Backtrack. I cannot, we cannot grow for you, go through this discomfort for you, but in the way that you mentioned as well, remembering that you don't have to do it alone. Thank you so much for showing up with us in this space, in a place where we can actually be, seen, to know that you're not alone, to know that you're going to only be stronger from this. Check out this handsome bro. Stop it. Stop it right now. Thank you for the love though, friend. Shanners, you got this, friend. You already got success under your belt, adding more of the passing moment. Thank you for manifesting with us, Jovan. I appreciate it so much. Isaac, love to you. Double love to you. 5K watchers? Yeah, Reddit stream, isn't that? It is. We did have 5K watchers for a while, interestingly enough, Jovan. We didn't go higher, but it stayed there pretty consistently for a while. So I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate you friends being here in this moment with me. It truly is an honor. I I got to show Christian this video again yesterday that was shared by a friend, uh, counting past infinity. It's a Vsauce video. And the first time I saw this video, I was in high school. And I watched this video and I could conceptualize and understand that I can't understand. I could understand how much I can't understand, right? And then that understanding gave me a sense of superiority in high school. I I had this sense of, you think you know. You think these teachers know. You think anything that you know is knowing. And yet we know nothing, right? And then being in that state as a teenager to the point of depression, literally, actually. So it's not necessarily just always great. And then, through this whole journey, I have, instead of just acknowledging how small I am in the context of the infinity, realizing that I am the context of the infinity, that you are, every single person, the fact that you're here right now is a whole infinity, a whole universe experiencing the other side of a whole universe. Me with my hopes and dreams, you with your hopes and dreams, all of the things we've experienced, traumatic or beautiful, all of the things we will experience, traumatic or beautiful, and yet individualized. Like the things we'll have probably in our lives, similar themes. And I feel that's why I show up in this way as well, is to be able to share how we go through life's ebbs and flows, in a way that is not expectant of much. I don't know if that's the right word. Like Aunt B has this beautiful thing that she says, do what you can with what you have where you are. And the fact that we have been able to touch each other in this way, just using cell phones and an internet connection, like we didn't have to expend, thousands of dollars to have these moments with one another. And yet, would we, if we know how much we've experienced and realize how much we would pay if we didn't have it, right? Like just forming an understanding and appreciation for the things we have. Christian said it beautifully as well yesterday. Like he bought like a little packet of soup that we're adding to our meals to add a little bit of thickness. And just like a packet of soup, right? Like that little packet of soup would have taken multiple ingredients, processing that would take us probably days, and in a moment you have this whole encapsulated thing that is provided to you by the universe. And I mean, like that's something small, like a packet of soup. It's a packet of soup. And then imagine you're all of the infinity that you are in comparison, and just to speak in confidence in that way, to realize that you're so much more than just your body. You're so much more than the words you can say. You're so much more than the things you can think. You're so much more than everything. And to love yourself as that, to be confident within that knowing. Thank you, Jovan, for the love again. There's a difference in taking the glory for yourself and giving the glory to God. Friend, I don't believe there's any separation, where even if you're completely oriented with the Christian understanding of God, you are created by God, right? And my understanding of God is a being so powerful that it wouldn't need anything outside of itself to create something. Not only that, but it wouldn't need anything else, like another being, like in procreation, to create something else. So the only way that I could imagine this concept of God that we use as a society to operate is to create from a place of imagination, from mind, from a thought. And with that thought, you are. So in that way, everything you are, everything you do can be in honor of God, right? As a living example of God's love, to have loved you enough for you to be in this moment. So I feel you cannot take glory, friend. You can only give glory. You can make more of your life and help people in doing so. And that is going to be you giving to that same quintessential God essence that I was talking about in the first place, right? So Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna go out and convince other people that they know nothing, they are nothing, more than a cog in a machine, or more than a person that presses buttons, and that they have to work for you, and their whole life is only dependent on you and their quality of life and what they think about themselves. Then you're stealing glory from God, absolutely. But what we're doing here is telling that you right here ain't worth the Nook, you are powerful and you have the capability to change the world. Literally. And not only do I believe you can, but I believe you cannot help but. The very act of you being in this moment is infinitely influencing everything into the future. The people that you will still touch, kids that you could have, kids that you do have, kids that you can, like smile at across the, grocery store to, a little kid distraught, help them find, a worker or something so they can call their mom over the intercom. A society in which we can continually love one another, and it's starting in this moment with you. With you, Fred, not with me. I'm trying to do everything I can. You can do it as well. Man, not that thing. Enough of the life lessons, this dude. Joint monkeys. Thank you, Fred.
Uh-huh.
The people that I told you, some people get extremely angsty. I think I told you, Han, maybe you might have laughed. People get extremely angsty if you don't light the joint instantaneously after rolling it. There's like a certain set of anxiety, like they want to see it happen so bad that they become vocal about it. We kind of imagine it as monkey shaking a cage.
I've been there.
Mm.
I've been there. It's a bizarre place to be in. Like, I don't want to find myself there again.
I feel it is only something that arises when you don't do it with intention. Right? Like you're doing it to escape something, or you're doing it to feel a certain way. Or to not feel a certain way. That's even worse. You want another puff of this? Is it helping with the writing?
Not really.
I can't imagine my talking is helping either. Maybe your writing will be extra spicy if you have to concentrate double. Check out this has to do. Shannon, you're so strong, so beautiful to watch you grow. I believe in you, and I know that you know that pain is temporary and that it breeds absolute bliss. Thank you for saying those words, Isaac, for manifesting with us. A bit of a tickle in my chest. That's how Jazzy's virus started, so hoping it's just the ganja. I hope so as well, brother Isaac. If anything, think of it as an opportunity to build antibodies. That's how I've been thinking about getting sick. Not, oh, I'm gonna get sick. No, ooh, I'm gonna have an opportunity to build a bunch of antibodies against a foreign invader. It's like a challenge. It's just like, oh yeah, oh, you're gonna approach me? Straight up smacking down on those little viruses. Stay positive and drink lemon water, Isaac. I hope you don't fall ill, friend. Thank you. There's a meditative path called the Headless Way. It's all about dissipating the complex that we are in the first person, a being gazing out at the world. Instead, we are space for the world. Through practice and recognition of sensation, through the meditation, it can begin to feel like you are living with no head. I will, Shannon. That is pretty interesting. I mean, technically, you don't see your own head ever, right? So I feel like maybe the headless meditation was a little bit more common with our previous versions of humans, where now we see our own head so much, it's hard to convince ourselves we don't have a head. I will, Shannon, appreciate the advice and feelings. I hope not to. Jasmine is extremely ill and tired and still waking up worse. So I gotta stay healthy. Please do, but the back. Please do feed yourselves. Take care of yourselves. I know you do. Continue to. Love to you, friend. Which basically what Satanists do. Okay, that's interesting, Supta. I mean, I've never considered myself a Satanist. I do believe Satanists have a certain philosophy to life though as well. You know, and if you actually listen, and this sounds very yikes, but listen to me as well. If you listen to their philosophy, it's more anti-establishment than it is, you know, anarchy, if you will. It's up to you to decide what you want to find. You don't find what you're looking for, you find what you are. Some people find Satanism and that's what resonates with them. And if that's what resonates with them and they find people in that community that can resonate with them and they're not harming anyone, of course, they're practicing blur, peace, love, unity, and respect, then who am I to say that they're wrong? Or any of us to say that they're wrong. Words are meaningless unless your actions back them up. I do agree, possible database. Yeah, but we still need to endeavor to actually be good. I was thinking about that today, you know, and again, I was thinking about it in this context of being as good as I can be, where I am with what I have, right? You wanna read me?
Modern language is really fucked with my writing.
Uh-huh.
Because I want to describe her, you know, ripply arms. Arms like rippled with muscle. And like,
Okay.
I'm thinking of an interesting way of describing
Think
it.
of
And the
maybe
phrase
texture.
the phrase comes into my mind where it's like her cut arms, bro. Her ripped arms. Her jacked arms. Like,
I'm thinking
that's too
maybe
it's too mainstream, man.
like maybe
Her
like
jacked
think the
arms.
texture of vines growing up a tree, right? Like that is that
You don't
is
want to get too fucking descriptive when you're writing simple scenes, bro.
okay.
You leave the big descriptions for like specific moments. This is like dialogue going down right
Okay. Oh, why are you like integrating ripped arms into dialogue? Female ripped arms, by the way. And I mean, she's a badass character, so like I'm trying to understand the context right now.
She'll beat you to death, bro.
Bro,
She will, with her bare hands.
from what I
beat you
understand,
to death.
some part of me would probably enjoy it.
I'd be kind of proud. Yeah, I would be kind of proud.
What did you do wrong though to get beaten to death by Osted?
Probably try and kill her.
I mean, probably that would be the one way to guarantee your ass kicking. Stay healthy. If you can, get your hands on some chive oil and have a diffuser. Diffuse it and put it on the bottom of your chest. Thank you, medicine mother, sharing such beautiful advice. I appreciate that so much. You look like Kit Harington's younger brother or something.
Nice. Jon Snowing that shit.
Jon Snowing. Like we've basically come up with this joke of if Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, Kit Harington, Chris Pontius, and Heath Ledger fusion hard, that would have been me.
Did you just put Heath Ledger in that list?
Did you see the Heath Ledger?
Maybe from like 30% upwards on your face.
But that's where the mix comes in, dude. Like he's one of 6. I am a human being like you. I have eyes. I have nose. I have mouth part. I have ears. I have these things. Arms on my arms. Smaller arms attached to my bigger arms. And extreme amounts of nerve endings. So I can feel things. I can sense the reality that I'm a part of, just like you. Alright? And we only now recently figured out that we look a certain way instead of another. Trying to imagine a reality having never seen myself. And I don't feel, maybe, actually, there definitely would. Like, just imagine how your life would be different if you never saw yourself? Can you imagine that, Christian? How would your life be different if you've never been able to see yourself?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Isn't that a trip though?
I would be so judgmental, bro. I would be so judgmental.
You think you would be more judgmental?
I think I'd be more judgmental.
I instantly thought I would be so much less judgmental. I would be like,
I
oh.
would be so much more judgmental. Bruh, if I don't know what I look like, bruh, it's humbling sometimes to look in the mirror.
That's true. What a trip. What an actual trip. I'm imagining like a whole reality where it's more a paradox, where you literally cannot see yourself. You can only see yourself as other. Like, even if you try to find a reflective surface, you can only see what is behind that reflective surface or what's in front of that reflective surface, not yourself. So it's like literally the world looking in the mirror at itself. Do you understand the trip I'm going through?
I'm
right
sorry,
now?
right now the trip I'm going through is completely different to the trip you're going through, man.
That's the beauty of
I'm thinking
life.
of giving Osted a monobrow. I feel like I'm over the stereotypes in books, bro. A beautiful woman. I want this bitch to look like she's still pretty, but she has a monobrow.
I mean, monobrows are not
Nothing wrong
attractive.
with the
I have a
fucking
monobrow.
bro.
I have like a mild monobrow, dude.
Bro, I shaved my monobrow.
Why? Why do you do that? What do you mean? Why do you do that?
Why the fuck do I do that? Because I don't like my monobrow. I don't really have a monobrow, it's just like a few tiny hairs.
Instantly my brain fills in the gap. Thank you, Christian. little bit of a intertwine. There's a whole other being in this room with me right now. And then we turn on music and thank Globam. There's been this running joke, Christian, between me and
Lubaba.
Globama, dude.
Oh.
It's a glow festival that is Obama themed. And we're gonna sell Swaggart.
We're gonna sell swag.
Swaggart, dude. It is 120 ml sachets of drinkable yogurt. I'm gonna get the coolest hip hop stars to represent all their swag on our instant drink yogurt. And it's gonna be our main driver. Oh, dude, okay, that's the joke, dude. That's the whole joke. It kills parts of me, and I have a whole part of my brain that now understands this concept in a way where it's starting to make sense, and yet it's still so stupid. Thank you, brother Dad. I appreciate the love. Don't go and try and tell everyone I'm a good person. Just try to be to do good things. I mean, I feel like that is literally Stoic philosophy as well. Like, stop talking about what a good man is. Go and be one person. Go and be one. Are you smoking W33D? Yes, I am, friend. Yes, I am indeed Death Roll. Thank you for asking. There he is. Again for the love. Thank you. You're getting so much love being sent to you, Christian. Aunt B has eyes for you.
Love, man. Love out there.
Looking though, you're looking. Looking good, Christian. Words can be a seed in another's mind. Communication grows ideas and expands awareness. We can live into this without others outwardly seeing it. Seeing a turtle. Jovan, pretty much the card 34. Little turtle being gentle, I think the card is called. I had exams today and got mad because of my grade that I've gotten. I wanted to appreciate the earth and the things I have, but sometimes life hits hard. What is your opinion about school and our society we live in? Love from Denmark. Ooh, performance 1. That is a very dangerous question to ask me. I feel at this point in my existence, I'm very much anti-establishment, right? More pro-people as much as possible. And I feel our current education system is built around a narrative that the only way for you to be good at something is to remember instructions word for word, and then to do so in multiple different fields. And that is technically what cramming information into your brain is, right? Oh, I'm gonna remember exactly how things are supposed to be, how they tell me they are, right? I'm not going to be told these things and then ask critical questions. No. I'm going to be evaluated on being able to perfectly recall the instructions I was given. I'm going to be conditioned into sitting in rows, you know. In South Africa, we have to wear the same school clothes. So it strips away even more of what you are. I wasn't allowed to grow my hair. Like that, the hypocrisy in that as well, killed me. But it was this genuine narrative of trying to strip you down as a person. At least that's the way that I thought about it. Trying to strip you down as a person and trying to make you something that follows instructions and doesn't question the status quo. And it was a little bit hard for me as a teenager while thinking these things to be present and to actually pass. I did, fortunately. But goodness, I don't think I would have if I didn't have a lot of encouragement. Like I had a friend that actually was a beautiful encourager in my last year of high school, like David. And if it wasn't for him, who knows? Who knows? And just like again, that showed to me the power of a single person in your life. One person can be such a universal shift in the way that you see the world and the way that you love the world and the way that you love other people. So I feel the society that we live in right now doesn't love people. It loves money. And the society that we want to live in should be one where we love people first. Thank you, Performance One, for asking me that question. I hope that answer satisfies. Zaza. Zaza. Oh goodness, dude. That's too real. No, please. You don't know. I don't know. Like, I watched it and I had the same, I cannot be that. I cannot be that. So thank you though, Fred. Thank you for the reminder. Nail polish remover melt. I know, Dan. But I'm pretty lazy, dude, when it comes to doing things for myself. I'll stay clean, but reapplying things, oh goodness. I'm seeing the whole fractal of me sitting and painting my nails, and then getting nail polish on my finger, flesh. Skin. Yeah. And then having to do so multiple times and doing so accurately and then switching hands to non-dominant hand and then doing the same. And then the color and then it chipping off and then it growing and then having to cut it. Okay. My nails are okay just the way they are. I hope you friends, feel that way as well. Use a clear base coat and you're cool painting your nails just once. Maybe I will. Probably will. I'll probably paint purple nails and put eyes on every single one of my fingers. So every single time I have my hand facing away from me, I have 5 little eyes watching me. I can already see it. I feel like the pinky is the most judgmental one. Why, pinky? Why do you look at me like that? Why do you look at me? Oh, you're clear, guys. Thank you again, friend, for the encouragement. Cable has some awesome blue nails right now. I have to go check it out. Is it like a dark blue or a light blue? Why wouldn't you just buy them yourself? Buy what myself? Talk about buying something. I try not to buy too many things, friend. I try to be, is frugal a nice word? Try to be frugal. Only spend money on the essentials. I think in units. Save units at the expense of comfort right now, and then 20 years from me now. That experience of me in that that time in that space is going to be significantly better off and more grateful for what I did today. And then just extending the horizon for when you expect things to happen, right? Like you can manifest the reality that you want, but don't expect to manifest it in 3 months. Goodness, I don't think anybody is that powerful. But in 3 years, in 30 years, who knows? Probably, definitely, And if you spend 33 years, okay, so I'm a strong believer in like every single minute counts, right? Every single moment technically counts, but that's a bit of much to think about. But if you can spend 11 minutes and 11 seconds a day doing the thing you love, whatever it is, and trying to do it in a way where you're building a skill, you're getting better at something. If you do it for 33 years, you will be able to make a whole career out of that thing that you've been doing. Just spending 11 minutes a day, showing up every day, right? Like that is where the power lies. It gets easier. That quote from BoJack Horseman as well, the whole monkey. It gets easier, but you have to do it every day, and that's the hard part. It's a paradox. It is a quantum contract that you make with yourself, and you cannot help but manifest reality if you show up for it. I have some good news, sorta gross, but the scab from my really bad cut finally fell off, and it has been a month of my left index finger in a huge bandage. I can play the guitar again. I'm so happy to hear that. Not really gross at all. A part of yourself that was there to protect the wound so it could completely, consolidate and grow underneath it has finally given itself away, and now you're exposed to light again, which can probably help you heal a little bit more as well. Thank you, Dan. I'm happy for you, Brother Bay. Go and shred some notes. Good morning, friends. Kayana. Thank you for joining us, friends. Nice to have you here. Ahoy! Sensei is up early today. He's joining us. Sensei, thank you for joining us, Brother Bay. It's nice to have you here. What do you think about living up to stereotypes? I feel we as human beings try to label everything, right? Because when we label something, it's a little bit easier to point at it and quantify what that is. Where there are certain archetypes within humanity, right? Like things that have been happening over and over again because of our biology, because of our conditions, because of our upbringing, because of the things we experienced. And then there arises certain patterns, and we as human beings again want to pattern recognize and then name these patterns, and then we make these stereotypes. So a person can be multiple stereotypes at the same time, or they can just be the expression of a human being and all of the things that comes along with being a human being. And then realizing, instead of just being a victim to these things, these stereotypes, you can be an active participant in the ridiculousness of what those stereotypes are supposed to signify. That not only are you those stereotypes, but you can be the most of that. You can live into the full breadth and beauty of what you are capable of. Be confident in your ability to be capable of that, instead of trying to downplay the character that you are. Whatever character, like we're playing roles, I'm just playing another role. Personally, going day to day, like I feel it's always like things choose us sometimes, You know, and you can be confident that you'll be supported in that way as well. If you start showing up with the things that you enjoy doing, you know, like why enjoy anything if it's not something that there is a resonation with you? Why push someone to do a thing when they are clearly not ready? Don't worry, they'll light it up. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support, your loving support, Kiana. Took me ages to find Arpan today. Did they remove it already? I think so. Maybe. It's insane. Maybe. But here you are, by the way. Still manifested into this moment. Thank you for joining us. It is gone. I'm telling myself they're making it better and will bring it back. Thank you. And they will. Well, as Jovan, actually, they will. Eventually. We're gonna probably go through an experience, you know, throughout this X amount of infinity. But we're still going to show up the same amount of love, right? We're going to show up for what we know is true. And if we have to do so for the next 3 years without having an Arpan as the way it was, so be it. Smack dab in the middle of the infinity. Guess I have to stream today. Come on, dude. Come on, it's the same stream, dude. We need the smiles, bro. Please, share some smiles with us. I'm smiling just thinking about it. Opposing viewpoint, please. Gooi us with an opposing viewpoint. God. I read somewhere in the line, feelings go in and out of fashion. And I thought about it. It's kind of true. Laughing my ass off. Like, back in the 90s, it was about being cool and badass. And then in the early 20s, it was emotional and feelings were cool, like the whole emo stage, right? And then the late 2010s was about being a badass bitch again, and not just a social justice warrior softie. And now currently, it's about mental health awareness and respect feelings again, Lamar. I mean, I feel it is a symptom of awareness, right? Like it's a symptom of awareness. Us living in this way, creating these feelings that we portray as the ideal feelings to have, leads us to having to live in a different way. Like suicide rates is at an all-time high, dude. It's ridiculous. People are killing themselves more than ever because of that ideal, right? This ideal of, oh, this is the living standard you need, right? And if you don't have this living standard, of course you're not going to be this beautiful, always smiling, always in the most beautiful scene, always in the perfect shape individual, you know? And it's that narrative that has been created for ourselves because we want to see ourselves in the infinity instead of seeing ourselves as the infinity, right? Like it's this projection outwards instead of being able to acknowledge yourself for what you are. And I feel mental health is technically that. It is getting to that, getting to acknowledge yourself, getting to go through your own stuff, getting to be genuine with yourself a little bit. And it's difficult. It's difficult. It's something that we've almost been trained not to do. And again, I think it comes back to the way that we've been schooled, the way that we've been raised, the way that our parents have been raised, the way that our economy has been going, the amount of fear-based mentalities that we've seen as of late. So true, and I hope it stays that way. Mental health, y'all, it's so important. Yes, respect for self and others forever, please. So beautiful to see you being like so in tune. Anna, thank you so much, Kayana. So much love to you. The pendulum swings. Never thought about that's insane, but it's totally accurate. It is. It is. It is again a pattern, you know. And I genuinely believe Marcus Aurelius has this quote where he mentions that even if you live 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, you will notice the same patterns happening. And Sensane, you know, is what, only 30 years or so in, and he's already noticing. Thank you for sharing with it there. People are chameleons and intends because they want to be relatable. I want to be relatable. I feel I've given up on that a little bit. Have I, Christian?
Huh?
I want to be relatable.
No.
You think I haven't given up on that?
No.
You think I still want to be relatable?
Yeah. To the people you're socializing with, yeah.
I mean, as much as I can, right? I can be relatable on the fact that I'm just a human being like all of us are. But other than that, we're all these complex beings, dude, and we all have a whole perspective on how reality works. Like it's sometimes a difficult thing to be able to relate to. But that's a good point, Gab. Thank you so much. Our like I don't think I'm trying to be something or try to camouflage myself at least. If anything, I sometimes try to lean into the melancholy or the stories that I tell myself, or at least lean into being willing to acknowledge them in a way that I'm not trying to be in a state of shame of myself. Satanism be like, sure, hail Satan, but first, hail yourself. Kind of like that, exactly, Jovan. And it's a perspective, right? It is a role that is being played by the infinity that is going to be a certain amount of against the things that they have been raised on, and against the certain understanding they've been taught. This empowerment of the self, the separation of the self from the infinity, from God, whatever you want to call it. And that is, again, as you mentioned, is the whole hailing yourself, like actually honoring yourself as a part of this whole thing, and then loving yourself in the same way. It's all about reflecting yourself to become your best self, so you may uplift and advocate for others as well as for yourself, especially with a rejection of bias or judgment. Thank you, God. You're completely right. It's actually super wholesome. If you really look into it, that's just a stigma that deters people from entertaining the idea. That's it. And you don't need any of it. You don't need any of it, but again, it's a role. It's an archetype. It's an expression of the infinity, and certain people gravitate to that because of their life experiences. And if it creates a safe environment for them to actually grow in self, then it's necessary, because empowering people is what's necessary. A monobrow, I've never heard that. In the States, we call it a unibrow. Mono does mean one, so uni also means one. So monobrow and unibrow technically both check out.
I prefer the term alpha brow.
Alpha brow. Part of me wants to go to solid brow.
Sure.
Would it be useful?
A solid brow.
I'm just thinking about evolutionarily. Technically, these are made to keep sweat from dripping from your forehead into your eyeballs.
I also think it's like extra protection. Like if you were to lean your head down, keep like sound out from hitting in your eyes.
Mm,
Eyelashes are the same thing.
yeah.
They were actually built for the desert.
Did you know that technically this response of your eyelash getting touched by something in that muscle closing is the fastest in your entire body?
I'm not surprised, bro. I have a lot of fear pent up in that area.
Instant closes as soon as it has a single dust molecule hit it. Repping the brands Meld, Swagger, products and services included. Just coming to the moon. Dan, as I said, dude, there's a whole little fractal in my brain that's now dedicated to that word. Dude, I cannot. Uh-oh, Dan, what did you do? We're in the chat. Just melt that right now. Here right now. It's insane. Now you know. That is how I became a music teacher. I practiced guitar every day for 25 years, and eventually people started paying me to teach them. Thank you, friend. Thank you, Con. That is so beautiful. Out of this infinite universe, I say this thing, right? Could be complete nonsense. And I challenge you to do the thing you love for 10 minutes a day for 33 years, and then come back to me and tell me, oh, nothing came off it. Nothing came off it, Melt. I showed up for myself for 33 years, and it did nothing for me. Then I don't know, I'll give you like $10 or something, whatever. I mean, who knows what $10 could be in that time in that space? You know, like love to you, friend. Thank you so much for affirming that reality. He just practiced guitar by himself for 25 years, and eventually people started paying him to teach them how to play guitar.
Good man.
Yeah, do the thing you love, and eventually people will pay you to do the thing you love. But you have to keep doing it. I'm not preaching. I'm being like,
Sounds like you're preaching.
I'm being
here,
like
bro.
manifest. I'm being like, you should be like, yeah, hoo-ha, let's go. None, nothing.
You better manifest food soon, my dude.
Christian, the food will become manifest right now. I mean, now it's probably gonna be later, but it's still gonna be right now. Thank you again, Sensane, for joining us. Passes a note to Sensane. He opens it to reveal a sketch of a wiener roller skating with a mop. Why do you do this to my brain, Gob? What did I do to you, dude? No, like, is it the wiener dog, or is it like a sausage wiener, and is it like in a single roller skate with a mop? Like maybe like attached his hair, or is it a wiener that has legs going into roller skates, holding a mop? Like all of the realities that my brain comes up with is just absolute horror. Why, God, why? Thanks. It's almost like I'm not working because I'm just playing guitar and making music with people, and I get to give them pointers and also teach me a lot and ask questions that I've never considered. I love it. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that's it. You know, that's it, friends. All we have to do is do what we love for X amount of time. However much time you can spend, but at least try to spend some time on it. There's like, I have this understanding of your brain being a fractal generator. And every single time you show up with something that you want to do, you are putting your brain in a state where it's trying to generate the fractals to be able to do that thing. So even if you show up to do the thing you want to do and you don't get any of it done, you have still shown up for that, and that will still do something for you in the long run. So thank you, friend, for like manifesting that as well for yourself. He enjoys playing guitar and he kept doing it over years. You know, didn't think, oh, how am I gonna make money in the next year playing guitar, teaching guitar. Kept showing up. Thank you for giving me hope, friend. I want this picture to be real. It's insane. What horrors, sweet horrors, do you want to reveal? It's so uplifting, reinforcing the idea of being consistent with what you enjoy doing. I'm so thrilled that you followed your heart that has served you. Right? Right, Jova? Doesn't it inspire so much hope? It's so glad that your hard work and dedication is paying off. That's great. It always will and be. Thank you. This is a bit of a yikes, but I imagine it's insane posing while God performs a live painting. Not too yikes at all. I mean, the human form is something that's very beautiful. I feel, I'm really curious about that even. Like, looking at the divine feminine as the world, right? As a tree, as a beautiful little bird, as this carpet, allows a certain depth of love. But looking at a woman, like the amount of beauty you can see in a woman in the female shape, and the same in the man and in the masculine shape as well, right? Like I went through a stage in my life where I was extremely physique oriented and I was trying to achieve what I thought was the ideal physique, and that usually comes with a lot of comparison. And I don't think there's really any shame within me to acknowledge that I do find the masculine physique attractive as well, but not in a sexual way, more in an admiration way. And again, considering everything that is matter to be the feminine and the perception of that, the awareness of that to be the masculine, it's a whole trip. It's a whole trip. So there's nothing weird about it. Maybe we'll see one day Sensane, maybe like strong posing on roller skates, hair flopping in the wind. And I don't know, but I do see it. I can't see it in my Meltmore voice. This might be a bit of a yikes. You think I could stand in one spot for that long? I mean, probably not. It's insane. Probably not, dude. I don't think I've ever seen you not move. No, I legit have not seen Sensei not move. Like he's always doing something with his hands or, you know, leaning. I don't know. He's always. I've never seen Sensei not move. Now that I'm thinking about it, I agree, Mel. Bodies are beautiful. Yes, they are. Everybody, everybody, literally everybody. Like the amount of complexity in a being, like the way your fingers look, the way your nails look, the patterning of the little lines where your finger creases happen, the patterns on your hands, you know, the little lines that your hand chooses to make, if you have calluses or not, your veins as these beautiful little networks underneath your skin, these individual little hairs growing out of yourself, certain areas of yourself having different distributions of hair. Like human beings. Human freaking beings. And I wonder about looking at an alien. Right? I imagine like this fantastical purple, blue, smooth skinned, almost like cephalopod-ish, still bipedal, you know, alien being. Very large eyes, but hidden mouth parts. It's, oh goodness. And then being able to still find that same beauty, you know, because of its complexity in thinking and its a willingness to be close enough to be observed in that way, to be able to see beauty in that way, right? In the same way we can see beauty in another person. It's a whole trip. Like the point I'm trying to make is that there is beauty within everything if you just take the time to observe it, right? Like that is the real thing, that there is just infinite beauty. You know, acknowledging yourself as that allows you to see it. It would have to include the knuckle jugs. It would, Naruto, of course. Not sure what they're actually called. I think it's almost something like that. I move so much, it's dangerous when I meditate. The universe depends on my motion. So when I'm still, the power and energy which flows from me reforms the environment around me. It's insane. I unironically believe that. You know, and the reason I believe it is completely insane, but it makes some sort of conceptual sense, right? Like within the infinite universe, it makes conceptual sense. And me and my friends have been talking about this, where we talk about stirring dark matter, where there should be 5 times more dark matter than there is matter in our current reality. And yet, we cannot detect any of it. Dark matter also self-intersects, so it doesn't collide with itself. So, I believe the only way to interact with dark matter is with matter. And everything you do, the way you move, and I feel like dancing especially is so powerful because of that, because you're stirring the infinity. You are stirring 5 times your own mass, at least. And I can imagine it going all the way into infinity, but that's too much. So yes, it's insane. Yes. Be confident in the power you have. And do realize that it's going to be okay either way. Even if you sit still, that can be very beneficial to this world, right? Maybe we need some quiet for a moment. It's insane. I mean, you can spend 4 minutes and 44 seconds. That's what me and Christian have been doing after our exercise. 4 minutes and 44 seconds. It felt like an eternity. Christian? Yesterday's 4 minutes and 44 second meditation, how long did that feel?
About 2 minutes.
Let's do some hard steps. Yeah, it's like 2 minutes basically.
Felt like eternity, my dude.
Dude, it was an experience. Like at one point in the
I went through
meditation,
several galactic experiences.
Dude,
actually.
I legit went through like plans of my future, ways of reacting, like a whole experience, dude. Like it was like a psychedelic trip almost in that meditation. And I think, at least for you, I think I was very still during that meditation as well. Were you very still as well? Did you have movement?
I was very still. I didn't move at all.
Yeah. That stillness can be good. You know, instead of being that turmoil in the external realm, you can acknowledge that turmoil in your internal realm. Be confident that you are empowered. Again, be confident that you are empowered, friend. You are powerful. You can change everything. I believe in you. I'll see you again tomorrow here around the same time, minus an hour. Huh? Just see you, please. I love you. Follow us. Follow Haywire Hill so you can actually find notifications for the stream. I don't think we can go front page anymore. I don't know how you found us. I'm grateful that you did. Love you, friends. See you again tomorrow. Hey, Melita! Inside? Are you with Christians? Look at that. Look at him.
It's not high enough to capture my face. Yeah.
Look at him. There he is. I am at Christians. Thank you for asking, Melita. It's nice to have you here. I do think that I missed a lot of these, lot of these, lot of these. There we go. Okay. I think I'm catching up to ignition, staying healthy. Feet inside of your Christians. Okay. Have a good day, everyone. I love you all so much. Welcome, friends, as we love you. Thank you, Shannon, for joining us. I'll see you, friends, again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.